Hey, good afternoon. Paul Farmer here. This is Freedom Project Live, episode 189. 189. And what I like to do on these is share with you my journey online, marketing tips, mindset tips, and anything else that I feel would be of value to you. So, what I've been doing is I've been tracking my journey to $10,000 in this one opportunity based on the training I'm getting in this private community. If you'd like to learn more about the private community, what it's about, how it can benefit you, go ahead and click the link right below this video. So, getting right to it. So the truth of the matter is I didn't want to come on here today. I was like, I don't want to do a video. I don't want to do it. And I decided to come on after talking to someone today. His name's Ronnie. He's watching. And he told me, he's like, yeah, man, what you're doing, basically, it's definitely something no one else is doing, or very few people do. And it's definitely going to be something that you can use down the road to inspire more people. So forging on, right? So today is day 26. I've been tracking my journey. I've been sharing what it is I'm doing. And at this point, I have 2 sales. And that's nothing spectacular, I know, but it is a process. And one of the things I continually say is focus on the process, not the outcome. Focus on the process, not the outcome. So I'm doing the process. Now, this morning, just to let you know, this morning I had someone get back to me that had watched one of the videos I sent out. And she was like, yes, I like it. It's very inspiring. And I definitely want to do it. So she is working to get the money together along with many others doing the same thing. So that's where I stand right now. I'm going to be doing my connections. I do 75 connections a day. I have decided to scale back a little bit on Sundays just because you need a mental break from time to time. I think that's important. So I am scaling back a little bit on Sundays. I may even stop altogether on Sundays doing nothing and just relaxing because I think that's important to do. Otherwise, you go stir crazy. So, this process has been really, it's a process, obviously, but it's really had me do a lot of self-reflection as to what am I doing? Why am I doing this, for one? What do I want to accomplish? What do I stand for? All of these questions have been coming up. And what I most want to do is I want to help you. I want to help people break through whatever's holding them back. I want to help them. And that's not just me saying, oh, I want to help you and not do anything, because there's a lot of people out there that want to help. There's a ton of people that say they want to help. If you were to ask them, they'd say, yeah, I want to help. I want to back that up. I want to, for one, I want to have the income story with this. So this is something I'm doing. I want to have that income story because I know that income story is going to inspire many people that think they can't do it. This morning, I was talking to a guy, and like, this makes me so sad. It really does when I see this. And the reason I say it makes me sad is because I went through this process. And when I see people going through this process, it's sad because I know the outcome. I already know what's going to happen. And what I'm talking about is I was talking to a guy, and he was messaging me, and I was doing a training on this morning with some of my business partners that came on. I was doing a training. I was showing them the language being used and how I can look at that language and know exactly where that person is in their business. Like I know right away. So some of the language he was using, like, first of all, right away, and he did okay, but he started saying things like, best opportunity ever. This is going to be huge. I'm never going to have to work again. All these words that are very, they're very hypey. And like, for someone that is experienced and has some understanding of how to communicate effectively, they look right through them. Like, so for me, when I was going through this process, and I did a training this morning with my team, and I was showing them, for those that were there, I was showing them how I took this conversation and I completely flipped it around, and I was able to share something I do with this person. And the reason that happened was because, one, I recognized what was being said. Okay. So that gave me a tip right where that person was. But I just felt bad, because the guy is going, and this happens all the time. This happens to people all the time in this industry. They get suckered into this stuff. They come in, they think, oh, okay. So in this particular case, this program's in pre-launch. It's been in pre-launch for, I don't even know now. I'm probably coming up a year and a half. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been in pre-launch. A company I'm with just went through a pre-launch, but we were getting paid during the pre-launch. Okay. So I asked this guy, are you getting paid? He's like, no, I'm not getting paid yet. When we launch, it's going to be huge. I'm going to be able to retire. I'm not going to have to work. Oh, my kids, my family, all this stuff. Right. And, he has good intentions, but the problem is, for one, it goes against everything, any kind of practical wisdom, any wisdom, anything, any common sense, really, if you think about it. It goes against anything so anytime you have someone go, hey, I'm going to do everything for you, you don't have to do anything and you're going to get rich, run the other way. Run. They are literally just sucking you in to get your money. So in this case, this particular guy had paid for 3 positions. So that's like, I don't know what the position was, but he paid for 3. And he's like, okay, well, when this thing hits, it's just going to explode and my income's going to explode. I'm never going to have to work again, all this stuff, right? So I asked the guy, because I like to help people. I do. That's what I like to do. And I do my best to listen when people are open to it, right? So I was like, hey, do you mind if I give you a little advice? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I told him what I thought about it. And I told him about my own experiences. And I was like, if you're putting your success in the hands of someone else, you're really setting yourself up. You're really setting yourself up to be disappointed, being taken advantage of, to waste a lot of time, to waste money. And, I speak from experience here. And I told him, I'm like, the only way to guarantee your success is to learn skills that will actually create income for you and work on your mindset, develop a success mindset. Now, I know that's not the message anyone wants to hear. Everybody wants to hear, oh, it's easy. I don't have to do anything. It's going to be built for me. Money's just going to rain from the skies. That's what everybody wants to hear. But it's all garbage. It's all garbage. I have another word for it. I won't use it, but it's just a waste of time. And you got to stop being suckered and falling for this crap. Okay, so anyway, I gave him my advice. He's like, oh, thank you. I really think this is going to work, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. It's not. It's not. I already know it's not. But that's fine. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, that maybe there is something out there where you do 0 and you make a fortune. Maybe that's going to happen. I don't know. I would think if that was the case, everybody would be doing it, but that's me. I don't know. Every successful person I've ever seen has put in work, has gone through the trials, and they've gone through it. They've gone through the battles, and they just kept going. They didn't quit. They had a never die attitude. Those are successful people. People that lose a lot of money, waste a lot of time, stay broke, are the ones that fall for these things. It's easy. Don't have to do anything. Anyway, this wasn't really my message today. It just kind of came to me. But what I was getting to, and I almost forgot, I just remembered, was he told me that he couldn't recruit. And I hear this message a lot. I hear people tell me this a lot. And that is garbage, because I never could recruit. I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do any of that. None of it. But I do it all the time. It's just because you haven't been trained. and you haven't applied what you've learned, and you aren't doing it consistently. Because when you learn to do it consistently, when you learn a specific way to do it, then it's no longer a big deal. And it's not hard. And it's not a matter you can't do it. Those are just lies. That's your doubt. That's your ego getting in the way, because you can do it. It's simple. It's not hard at all. What we do, literally, I was breaking it down today. It's so simple. Literally copy paste. Literally copy paste. That anybody and everybody can do it. Now, the issue, though, is here, between the ears. It's here. It's what you're thinking. Because you're thinking it's hard. You're thinking people are going to reject you. You think people are going to laugh at you. You think all these things, right? And sure, there are going to be some people that reject you. That's going to happen. Out of 75 messages, the most no's I have gotten is 12. The most no's I've gotten is 12, which I think is low. For 75 messages, most no's I get is 12 in a whole day. Like, that's not much. And I don't even get that often. So, and I get just about as many yeses. So yes mean I want to watch video. I want to see what you're doing. So that's a yes. So I get about the same number, which is interesting, isn't it? It's about the same number. I've been tracking my progress. I got it written down on paper. I can show you, but it's about the same. The numbers are about the same. So I find that interesting. You're going to get a lot of people that never respond to you. That's going to happen. But is the process hard? It's not hard. Is it easy? I wouldn't say it's easy, because it's a mental battle. It's a mental battle. You're going to constantly be going through this thing where, oh, I don't want to get rejected. Oh, you're going to internalize it, right? And believe me, I understand. Like, it gets to a point some days where you're just like, man, what the hell? What is wrong with people, right? Like, you get to that point, and that's when you got to step away and either go meditate, go for a walk, watch something inspirational. You just got to get away from it. Now, I'm going to get people that tell me, oh, well, why don't you just run traffic to a funnel? Why are you doing all this, right? Because I'm doing it for the people that can't. I'm doing it for the people that can't run traffic to a funnel, that can't even set up a funnel. That's why I'm doing this. I like, I already know that works. So, but like I've said so many times, if you don't know how to effectively communicate with people, you're wasting your money. You're wasting your time. It's how you go into debt, big time. Get no results, quit, jump from one thing to the next thing. I know my message isn't for everybody. I know I'm beating a dead horse here. I know, but it's the truth. It's the way it is. All right. So I wanted to share something. I was listening to a interview. Ed Milet was interviewing this guy, Trent Sheldon. I'd never heard of him before. Ex-football player. He tried to make it to the NFL, got cut like numerous times. Now he's like a motivational speaker. Maybe you heard of him. I never heard of him. But he said a few things that stood out to me. And one was, your transparency will lead to your transformation. I wrote that on my wall today, on my Facebook wall. Your transparency will lead to your transformation. So that really spoke to me. It's one of the reasons why I started doing this, right? Your transparency will lead to your transformation. It will break down the walls that you have built up. It will break down the ego, the pride, because you're being real. You're not faking it to make it. You're being real. And Ed Milet said something too. He's like, get people to cheer for you. Get people to cheer for you. If you want to get, a following, if you want people to start purchasing your stuff, get them to cheer for you. I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. So it's not about like the big results you're getting. It's not about or not getting or pretending to get. It's not about that. Your transparency will lead to your transformation. I just thought that was really, really powerful. And I've heard it said so many times by so many different people where they say, you got to be real. You got to be real. That's one of the things that I've been told many times is I'm very authentic and very real. That's why I have people that like to work with me, because I come across that way. I mean, I really am. This is who I am. Like, I don't fake this. I don't try to pretend I'm something I'm not. I'm just working to get more transparent. That's what I'm working on right now. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I got my head on the chopping block here. Like you're watching what I'm going through. It's not always pretty. Some days are ugly. But that's what Ed Milet said to be doing. So I know I'm on the right track, right? So, so the other thing he said, and I thought this was really good too, was you want to choose one thing that you can control. One thing you can control. So like this really spoke to me, because I really need to hear it. I really need to hear it over and over again, because I am one of those guys. The way I am wired, the way I think is I want to get big results. Like I do the work, I should get the big results, right? And I can get caught up in that. I can get caught up in the result and lose the process. The process is where you want to be. You want to focus on the process. You want to be doing the things that are going to produce the result. Not get ahead and go, oh, well, I'm not getting results, so I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do it. It's not working anymore. So he said, focus on one thing you can control. So you can't control that stuff. Like people decide to join when they join. Like they're on their own little time schedule. You can't control that. Believe me, I've tried. You can't control it. I mean, you could have the best closing script or whatever, you could be great at it, but people buy when they want to buy. You can't force that process. If you do force it, you're going to get backlash. You're going to get chargebacks. You're going to get people buyer's remorse, right? So you don't want to force it. But what is one thing you can control? So, for example, one thing you can control is how many connections are you making a day? That's something you can control. How many phone calls are you making a day? How many messages are you sending? Those are things you can control. How many videos are you making a week? That is something you can control. How many emails are you sending? That is something you can control. Let's see, what else? Anything you can control, right? But I can't control how many sales are coming in. You can't control it. You have nothing. I mean, yeah, you go by the numbers, and they should average out and everything. But if you do enough activity, if you send enough traffic, if you get enough people looking at an opportunity by the numbers, I mean, yeah, you're going to kind of know where you have a sale coming, like that, but you can't control it. So I thought that was really, really something that stood out to me, was do what you can control. Do one thing you can control. What is one thing you can control? For me, reaching out to people. That's one thing I can control. That doesn't take a lot of mentally. It can be a little draining. It's not really hard though, but it's a little tedious, especially if you're doing big numbers. You're doing smaller numbers, and you're just you're doing more of a. It's one of those things. But anyway, that's what I have for today. I hope you got value. It would be great to hear, your takeaways. Like if you had any takeaways, that'd be great. If you'd like to know more about the community I'm a part of, go ahead and click the link right below. The main reason I'm doing this is because I talk to way too many people on a daily basis that are flat out struggling, don't know what to do to change it. And I know that this is an absolute solution. And I also know that while I could teach you how to get to 2,000 to 5,000 a month, I know how to do that. You're more likely to listen to somebody that has made six figures in a month, multimillionaire. You're more likely to learn from that person. I'm not saying you can't learn from what I do, but you're more likely to listen and be open. So that's what I have for today. Hope you got value. With that, I will see you next time. Oh, before I go, I think I'm going to start doing these where I'm just tracking my progress once a week instead of every day. So I think I'm going to do it once a week so I can really focus on what I need to focus on. and then I'll give you a report once a week, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so with that, make it a great day. See you next time.